Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It's a pretty good day for me. Collaborative stuff has been off the freaking charts lately, you guys. That series with Python started a couple of days ago and I want to thank you guys for your support on that series. There's another episode coming out tomorrow. I am so excited to see where this is going. Me and Python are both pretty excited to have a series together, so it's going to be an awesome time. And the collab stuff is still rolling out. I've got Terraria with the Cirque, and today I met up with NashCrafter to do a little bit of building over at the Sea Haven town. We're working on the prehistoric kind of thing that I mentioned in the last episode. We kind of put a build palette together and got to work, and we've done some really cool stuff, which I will show you in a moment. But before we do that, I thought I'd update you on the cliff. It's looking pretty cool still. It's got a little bit more variety in it now. It's got a little bit more overgrown since you last saw it. We've got some ferns, some grass. I put in some path blocks as well, and I'm really happy with how those are looking. Obviously, still needs a little bit adding to the back, but that's a long project. This is talking like long-term terraforming kind of thing, blending it down into the terrain. I want to make it like a natural part of the scenery instead of just, having cliff here and then it like ends the other side. It's not going to be just this long plateau kind of thing in the middle of here. It's going to be blended down into the scenery on this side, which is going to mean taking out some of these trees and stuff just to help the place blend in a little bit. Also, speaking of taking out trees, over here I've been working on some stuff, and for this I've needed to I've named my axe Axio Question, haha, and I've given it mending at long last. I was able to trade for a mending book over at Spawn Iron Farm. Oh, there's a parrot. I need to tame some parrots as well. I've been working on collecting parrots to put them in aesthetically pleasing places, but for the moment I'm kind of working on, yeah, screw you as well. I'm working on tearing all the wood out of this bit over here. There's this big old kind of cliff rock formation type of thing. There was a lot more trees on here earlier, and I've kind of started getting rid of them because I want this mountain sort of bit over here to stand out in the background when you're looking at it from the lake. That's the plan. I'm thinking in terms of like the landscape that you can see from wherever you're standing, whether it be over by the temple or by Nessie or sort of anywhere around this area. And I really want to have more exposed stone out here, make this look kind of craggy and stuff. You might remember a few episodes ago I talked about there was a volcano-looking mountain out that way that I kind of wanted to terraform, but then I realized it wouldn't be anywhere close to anything that I'm around regularly. This you can actually see from the lake, so this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I'm not going to turn this into a volcano necessarily, but I want to do a bit of terraforming over here. I want to make this place look a little bit good, and the first thing to do with that is to remove all the jungle wood. So here we are, with a fully charged up axe ready to tear down some stuff, but I'm not going to do that on camera. That is a little bit tedious to be doing on camera. Instead, I'm going to take you guys over to Sea Haven to show you my meeting with NashCrafter and show you how that went. So here we are. Hi Nash, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very good. To start off with, I thought I would offer you a little bit of demolition advice, because I saw how hard you were trying to blow up your house in that last episode, and I thought there's a different way we can do this. So if you come over here to the testing area, it's not exactly not a formal testing area just yet, but I want to demonstrate something. So have you had much of a chance to play around with these?
No, but I've definitely seen these before.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but I'm going to lay down some obsidian over here.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Pop that on top. This is how you explode something for real. All right, I'm going to take the obsidian out from underneath here, and then you need to step back as far as you possibly can, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I've taken the obsidian out, and you'll notice that the crystal is still floating there. And this is where you want to get a little way back, because these things are a little bit volatile. When they go off, they really go off.
Holy, that is how you do it.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. So stick one of those inside the next house you want to demolish, and you're not going to have any problems, right?
Yeah, seriously. Thank you for the advice.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and end crystals are a little bit expensive to craft, but if you want to blow something up, there's nothing better. It's them and charged creepers, I think, are the only things that blow up with that kind of blast radius. This has actually led into what I want to do with this area, because you probably saw in the last episode that I put together this little block palette over here. And we are going to turn this into kind of a dinosaur-esque boneyard, kind of like an elephant graveyard sort of thing. One of the things I didn't mention in the last episode I recorded, I said the elephant graveyard from The Lion King was a thing, but also the latest King Kong movie has this incredible graveyard scene where there's all these big old bones from like King Kong's kind of ancestors, basically. And so, yeah, massive bones sticking up out of the ground, and some of this stuff just to kind of blend it in with the terrain. Maybe some slime is oozing out from here. I brought a little bit of soul sand to add to the palette as well, so I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love this palette. I think it works amazing. Like all of the gray tones and the white tones, and I even think the slime block really like is gonna give it a pop too.
Yes,
so I'm very excited.
I haven't done much building with slime, but I just like the idea of it because it's so clearly slimy. Like you can imagine it kind of oozing out of like cracks in the ground and stuff. I think we'll kind of terraform this little area over here into like a kind of pit. Maybe kind of make it a little bit swampy. Throw some soul sand down in here, and maybe do some slime, and then maybe we'll put some dinosaur eggs down here or something. It can be like a little nest.
Yeah, that's perfect. I like that idea.
Because you've been talking about wanting to get out of your like building comfort zone a little bit, so I figured this would be kind of a neat project to involve you in, because I've wanted to do some stuff like this for a little while, but yeah, I think it's always nice to try something a little bit different stylistically. Like you're not building a house, you're kind of getting fresh ideas from doing some terraforming or something like that.
Yeah, and I can honestly say I have never done anything like this. Like normally, like you said, I usually build houses, and I did get stuck in that funk of just doing houses and doing tutor, and like I talked about in my video, and it's tricky, and I'm excited to try this because it's just something I've never even attempted or tried or thought about doing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good to have your help and work this out.
Yeah, no problem. When you've been playing Minecraft for so long, it's difficult to kind of come up with fresh ideas, and I think one of the first things I always tend to do is like, right, I'm not going to build a house. Like I either go a little bit nomadic and find some terrain that really inspires me, or I end up like trying to build something that's not a house. Like my first series on DV, like I made like a little mushroom kingdom kind of thing, like a little while back, and that was really fun because it sort of challenged my idea of what a house should look like. The stuff I'd been building on Xbox up until that point was just, standard wood and cobblestone and the usual kind of stuff. But I think this is kind of like that. It's like you pick a crazy theme. You kind of imagine you're designing like a theme park sort of thing almost, and you just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
Have some slime oozing out of the side here, kind of pooling down at the bottom here. I like that. That seems like it'd be fun.
Oh, that's so cool. We should get would you be interested in using the brown concrete powder? Would that?
Yes, absolutely. It'll mix in really well with the dirt and stuff. If we leave some of this dirt, like coarse dirt and things, and mix it in with soul sand and stuff as well. Dude, this is already starting to look really different. Like it's so fun using blocks like this in the terrain that you don't normally find out in the open, just like slime blocks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just have it kind of dripping down the side like that. It just really adds something. Although now I'm bouncing so much I can't get out.
That looks amazing. It does look like it's oozing too, like it's just like flowing down into that little crevice there.
Yeah, all you have to do is imagine it flowing like water and you get the general effect.
Yeah. And I love the soul sand. That is awesome.
Soul sand is actually a really underrated block. Like you don't find people using it like this a whole bunch, but it's good. I've been using it to terraform the bottom of my lake in the jungle, and yeah, it just looks really nice as that kind of like muddy. It's got all the water soaked into it and stuff.
I feel like people often use things the way they're intended. For like the soul sand, they're like, oh, I can only use this to do another wart farm.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and using blocks kind of out of context is what breathes new life into everything, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I tell you what would be actually really good for like if we're building like a little nest in here with some eggs, having some hay bales or something like that would work quite well.
Oh yeah, like they're kind of like the mother of whatever it was kind of like making sure it was protected.
Yes, yeah, kind of like because people say that dinosaurs actually kind of looked like giant chickens. So just go to a chicken nest and then build it like about 10 or 100 times bigger, and you got the general effect.
Exactly.
I don't know if a bunch of these bone blocks work like that, or if we should maybe just do like kind of dot them around, like each individual one is an egg. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Because I feel like building egg-shaped things in Minecraft is always really difficult because you have to work on a bigger scale.
I love the hay. I like the hay a lot.
Yeah, I mean, in the new textures they're doing, they've actually got the red bands kind of removed from the side. Like when they post it on Twitter, there's a different texture for hay in like the next update. So yeah, it's not going to look like that for long. I think the bone blocks will do. I think they've got the round sort of texture on the end. It's like general kind of roundness.
Yeah.
I think one block like that works better than, big sort of like this. I feel like it just doesn't feel like an egg at that point. I don't know.
No, I agree. I like the few ones kind of dotted around, and then I really like the way the colors contrast, like the bright yellow with the white.
Yes.
Works.
And then having kind of green and brown all the way around it just kind of keeps that natural sort of look. Let's bring some dirt in from the side here.
I didn't know they like exploded to that magnitude.
Yeah, they're pretty hectic. Their weapon's great. If you use them for any kind of demolition, you've got to be really, really careful.
I seriously should have did that. I didn't even think about it.
It's that or lure some creepers into your home.
Yeah, true. We should make a charged creeper farm on here.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've wanted to work with mob heads for so long, but never had like the ability to make a charged creeper farm. Like, I need to just look at Cub's design and be like, right, how can we reproduce that?
Yeah, exactly. Did you move the crafting table?
Yeah, I brought it over here. Sorry.
Okay.
I probably should have told you. I was just going to casually drop it over here like nothing was wrong. Like, yep, let's have that there. And
I should have been more observant, because it probably has been here for like a little while.
oh no, like I literally just dropped it down there. It's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Somebody on the Reddit the other day pointed out that the little texture in brown mushroom blocks kind of looks like footprints. Like if you put it down there like that.
Does. Yeah.
So it looks like the heel and the ball of someone's foot. So you kind of imagine like somebody's been squelching around in the mud if you see stuff like that, which is kind of a neat way of using it. I don't think you could really like milk it, but if you want to include it in paths and stuff like that, brown mushroom is not a bad block to use.
No, not at all. I never would have even thought of that, but it does make sense. It definitely does.
There you go. See, blocks out of context. That's the theme of today's episode, I guess.
It is. There we go. I'm like one of those people who has to change. If I have like a stair here, I have to change the block underneath if you can still see it peeking through. Like with the path block.
Yeah, so much detail goes into that stuff.
I love terraforming, but sometimes I don't have the patience for it.
It's a long game, terraforming. It's definitely a long game. There's there's so many little tweaks you can do. Like, I can see why people get burnt out on terraforming projects all the time, because like it never quite feels like it's done.
True. Yeah. You're doing a lot of terraforming right now, aren't you?
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah.
You were mentioning how like Minecraft doesn't really make sense because the water just kind of comes up onto the shore, like even with the shoreline.
Yes.
And that's not really how like real life is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not how lakes and like cliffs and stuff form. Like there's always erosion, everything's constantly moving. Even rivers in Minecraft, they're just flat all the time. They don't like run down from the mountains, which is where water sources come from a lot of the time anyway, especially in my country. And so like having rivers that start at altitude and then flow down and they've like carved through the rock is something that I really want to try at some point, because geologically it makes sense, like I don't have any kind of geology background, but even I know that that's how rivers are supposed to work.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was over at your base not too long ago, and it's looking amazing. Like, seriously, it looks amazing.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. It's really coming together, and I've got a lot of different sort of disparate ideas that need to kind of come together and be a little bit more cohesive. But it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. See, already this looks completely different to the crater we started with. This feels like it has character,
It does, yeah. We need like before and after pictures.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'll scrub back through the footage of this and see if I can find a bit where I'm looking at this closely, because this is looking pretty nice. I'm kind of circling the perimeter with these larger kind of bones. I don't know, maybe it's a sort of rib cage thing. Maybe it's just there for show. It's just like they planted stakes in the ground and they're like, don't come near here. There's eggs here that we got to protect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And you see what I'm doing with the tops of the bone blocks, just kind of making them look like they've sort of snapped off, or that they're kind of pointed to begin with.
Yeah.
Just quartz stairs on the top of there.
Gives us that nice effect, and especially with you changing them around,
Yeah,
like
don't have
one
them all
facing-
pointing the same way. It looks way too organized.
I'm thinking about more goo up in here.
I'll put more goo on it. Yeah, I can't remember if I've got any more slime blocks over there in the supply chest. I might have to go and... I guess we can take these down because we know what the build palette is by now. So that's another 3 or 4 that we've got.
See, I'm trying to think if I have any slime. 'Cause my base is super close, but I don't know.
Dang it, rain. There we go. That'll keep it off for a while. that was apparently a thunderstorm because there's a witch here now.
Oh no.
Get out of here.
Ah. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my piston house and see if
Cool.
there's any.
See if there's any slime hanging out.
Yeah, any goo. I feel like people are gonna be so excited we're collabing because everyone on the recap was like, they should do it together.
Yeah. Like they should co-commentate everything. We've had a couple of guest presenters before, but you've been by far the best received of all of them.
And I didn't expect it at all. Like when people, because Loy was even like, they're gonna like rip you apart. They're gonna be so mean. Like,
he's so cynical about it as well. I think it comes with being Russian. He's just like, this will be murder, you know.
True. And he got me scared. He like terrified me. And
I think that's also part of his technique. He's like, I need you pliable. I need you to be molded to my whims.
True. But yeah, and then when everyone was like taking really well to it, I was not expecting it because he kind of put it in my head like, it's not gonna go well. It's just, you know, don't get mad if they all hate you and leave hate comments. And I was like, you know what? I've done YouTube. I'm used to it. It's fine.
Yeah, you know that game. Yeah. But no, it's really awesome. It's great to see people demanding that you return even after I was back, and we were expecting it to be like, oh, Pixlriffs has returned, and they were like, bring back the girl. She was good. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. This is one of the cool. It's so busy, but like the busyness kind of works for the style because everything is supposed to be so kind of like rough around the edges. It's prehistoric. Nobody was here like mowing the grass. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think like maybe doing a couple more, like you're doing over there, slabs sort of around the edge and stuff. But I think we can probably move on from this and try and connect it to where the skull is. I think maybe between here and there we need to almost like draw a line kind of thing. And that's actually a good idea. Let's clear out some of this. I'm breaking blocks that I don't mean to because my shovel is just too good. Let me fill in some of this grass, and then let's kind of draw like a line like this, so there's at least a trail to follow.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of up to the skull, and then we'll kind of line the path with cool stuff. Yeah, we can maybe throw something down here as well, like maybe another little nest or something like that.
Yeah, this is so cool. I'm so excited.
See, this is what I mean. This is like getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, and then finding out that you can build stuff that you never thought possible.
Exactly.
That's the vibe. That's the vibe we're going for right here.
Well, and I just dinosaurs is not like, I don't know why I don't think abstract when it comes to Minecraft. I think very literal. I'm just one of those types of people. So building like dinosaur eggs and bones is something that just wouldn't really cross my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily like occur to you first of all when you think, oh, a Minecraft. Like it's a game where you've got wood and stone and like just there's so much stuff that can be done. And like one of the things I try and do kind of regularly is like I browse stuff like the Reddit, and I look for people who are doing interesting and unique projects that isn't just like, you know, here's my house, what do you think of it? I try and think outside the box a little bit more than the average. And so yeah, there's some really cool stuff because I can't do creative stuff with redstone, and I think that's one of the aspects of Minecraft that I'm genuinely pretty jealous about, is when people can come up with crazy redstone contraptions where I'm like, that doesn't really have a purpose, but the fact that it exists is just awesome. Like it doesn't have to be like a practical thing, like, you know, it stores blocks for you, like, or it helps you put on your armor or something like that. This is just, it's like a redstone contraption that like fires villagers around a circuit, and it just kind of keeps repeating and stuff. It's like, there's no reason for that to exist in the game, but it's really awesome when you see it happening.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of what I go
I
for with like thinking outside the box.
see, and that's what I was hoping, like by doing fantasy, that would train my brain to do. But I've been having such a hard time with just getting my thoughts there and into that fantasy realm because
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, even trying like different colors and stuff with doing medieval tutor and all that stuff, it just doesn't, you don't think that way. And so,
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the interesting things about choosing fantasy is that there's so much fantasy is like that kind of Lord of the Rings style thing where everybody still lives in like wooden houses and stuff, and it feels like medieval is
yep.
kind of ingrained in the fantasy landscape a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to go really far afield to look beyond that as a thing. So if you're thinking about fantasy in terms of like, you know, giant dragon kind of stuff, then you're getting there. Like it's less about where like the little folk live, and it's more about like, you know, what's the most awesome thing I can build? What's the thing that's really going to make people go when they see it, like, you know, a big dragon in the sky or a massive castle or stuff like that. You've got to think it with a slightly bigger scale, but yeah, the results are always pretty awesome when you get to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. See, and this is like making me think like when you said dragon, I was like, oh my God, I want to make a dragon.
Do it.
And yeah, I should. Like I should make a huge dragon over my castle or something.
Absolutely. Don't overthink it either. Like that's the thing. Like you get in your own head about this stuff. I'm not saying you, I mean like one does. Like people in general, builders tend to just think, well, like, you know, I've never done a dragon before, so I can't do it now. Or like, you know, if you look up stuff, it's so easy to get intimidated by how awesome other people are building, but they're most likely either building in creative or they've, you know, drafted it in creative first and they're just taking a ton of time to make it look awesome in survival.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, give it a try. Like, just start with a claw, you know? Just start by building a giant... And even if the whole dragon doesn't get built at that point, even if you just got, like, a claw on the ground somewhere, then maybe that's the claw of a dragon that's been killed centuries ago and they keep it there as, like, a trophy or something. You know, there's just so much stuff you can do with that goes beyond just, let me build this one thing, like having a vague idea. And the best thing that comes out of it, I think, is there's a story behind it. Like there's automatically a story behind there's a dragon here. You know, it's like, what's the dragon doing here? Like, does it have any kind of agenda? Is it just like roaming the skies looking for stuff to burn?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really big on telling stories with stuff. And I think that's kind of the coolest thing about Minecraft in the way it lets you express your creativity. It lets you be individual with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, the storytelling part of me just comes out and is like, right, what can we do with this? What can we do with these strange blocks?
Have you talked about the story of your new area over there by the jungle? Have you ever talked about that in a video?
Oh, with the temple and stuff?
Yeah.
Not really. I haven't quite figured out what that's for yet.
Okay.
And whether it's going to be like at all related to the robot dinosaur thing, or if it's just going to be like... It's some kind of ancient structure that's been left there and repurposed, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of overgrown, so it's obviously been there a while. I've got like the leaves and stuff coming from it, and hanging gardens as a theme is kind of like it's got more sort of ancient overtones to it, so it feels like it probably should have been there a while, but I don't know. And I don't know if the people who've been shipwrecked there, like the shipwreck where my nether portal comes out, if the people who crashed there have like started the temple themselves, or maybe if they found it later or something. I don't know, but that's something I've actually been getting a lot of comments about, is like people coming up with their own story for like why the dinosaurs are there, and you know, it's something that can really, you can kind of put it out there to the community as well and just see like, what do you guys think, where does this come from? And it's really easy to get some really creative people in your community involved with that kind of stuff.
Definitely. I feel like our viewers are a lot more creative than us sometimes.
Definitely.
Just spit out some craziness, and it's awesome. Like it's amazing to see that people want to contribute to your ideas, and like I feel like I should ask. I don't think I've asked very much. Like, what do you guys think this should be, or what does this mean?
This is looking awesome.
It looks amazing.
Like, I can't believe we just built this in a matter of minutes. This is just looks really cool. And obviously, yeah, we can kind of expand it to either side and have more bones and stuff coming up. But this is already looking more or less exactly like what I wanted it to look like. There's just all
I'm
these odd
glad.
bones kind of popping up here and there, and I wasn't going to go heavy on like the skulls. I feel like we've got one big skull up there, and that's enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, just having these odd kind of bones, almost like they could be pillars from something. Like they don't even have to be bones if you want to think of them as like pillars from a structure. And like there was this walkway over here that's been torn down at some point. I don't know, but it's looking really cool.
It is. I love it. And I didn't know what direction we were going with. Like when you told me this idea, I was kind of like, okay, I don't exactly know what we're doing, but I'm just gonna go with it. And I think we both did that, and it just flowed, and
Yeah.
we made this.
It comes together. It really comes together. I'm going to expand this a little bit more out this way.
Let's see. What do you want to do about lighting?
That's a point. Like up here where the skull is, I've kind of got the little fire and trapdoors, and I think that looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I love these. So do you want to do a fire pit, or do you want to do the little fire baskets, or both?
Both.
Okay.
I'm a fan of both. If we can do if we can do more than one thing,
Yeah,
then
let's
it
do it.
feels like it's got more variety to it.
This is like one of those Crash Bandicoot games or something.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's any kind of like prehistoric level in sort of PlayStation 1 video games. I'm like, yep, I'm fine with that. That's a compliment as far as I'm concerned. All right, I think we're going to leave it at that, folks. I think we've got a lot done here.
Yeah, we did. It looks amazing. I'm so happy with how this turned out.
I'm really happy with it. Nice to do a bit of impromptu terraforming, and it just leads down to that crater where the eggs and stuff are. It almost feels like you're kind of leading down towards some sort of treasure. Maybe we should leave something in there for people to find. I don't know. Who can say? But before we go, I think you wanted to show me some stuff over at your place, right?
Yes.
Right.
So let's head over. I think the fastest way would be by this portal here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, I got rubber band so bad. There we go.
Good old nether portals. At least I can see you this time. We started off the video, I just couldn't see you at all. Like I was hearing people eating steak behind me, but nothing. So funny. All right. So this is the netherrack steps, kind of up towards the.
Nether castle. Well, it's not going to be a nether castle, but right now it's made of netherrack. It's kind of ugly, but this is going to be the main dome, and it's going to go up really tall, and it's going to have like these kind of wings coming off the side, basically, and I want to show you the inside. So if we kind of come along here, this side, drop down. This is what I am working on.
Oh.
And this is the main hallway.
Oh, don't look down. Yep. Getting vertigo just looking at this, Nash. Wow. That's a lot of digging you've been doing.
It's going to go all the way down to bedrock.
Skeleton just shot at me. There's like an arrow embedded halfway up the wall. He's like, I'm still going to get you.
That's a little dangerous.
He's the,
but yeah, this is going to have like big spikes, and then on the walls there's going to be rooms. And you know how in Harry Potter there's like the staircase that overlap each other and they kind of like change and move?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, but with bridges.
Oh, super cool.
Across. Yeah, so I'm very excited. This is the start of the castle. Ooh, it's a big dig though, so if you ever want to help me.
Oh, heck yes. I'm happy to pitch in. This looks so cool. I mean, whenever you do anything like this in Minecraft, you're clearing out a massive area. It automatically just looks like it's impressive.
I'm so excited. It's going to be like, so yeah, there's going to be giant holes in the walls, and then the bridge is going to connect to the other side of the wall. And then there's going to be like, wherever there's a room, it's going to loop kind of back into another room that leads to another bridge. So it's going to be kind of like a labyrinth. Like you have to go from one bridge to another to get to all the different rooms.
You can kind of Scooby-Doo it with the corridors where like you come out one entrance and like come through the other entrance.
Exactly.
Nice.
You'll be doing it.
Nice. Well, folks, on my channel, if you're not subscribed to NashCrafter already, this is what you should be subscribing for, guys. She's got plans. This was a pleasure. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
I did too.
Yeah, I look forward to doing more of this. I'll definitely come back and even if I don't have the time to pitch in, I will definitely come back and tour this place when it's looking a little bit more put together. And feel free to stop by the jungle anytime. We have a very good zombie spawner. You know, low rates, pretty good.
Thank you for coming and touring and seeing this. I'll have to have you, like you said, critique it when it's kind of finished.
I'll put my art critic monocle in and everything. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna get going. Take it easy, Nash.
You too. Bye.
So that was that. Great fun to hang out with NashCrafter. Always cool to get a new collab in, meet a new member of the server. And despite the fact that we both kind of presented the recap, our paths have never really crossed because she was co-presenting it while I was away. So Really cool to catch up with her, and I've made a bit of a dent in the trees on the side of this mountain, folks, but it is going to take a lot of off-camera work. You can't even see... There's a cat. I don't have any fish. Dang it. Okay, we'll have to come back for those. But yeah, you can't really see the progress so much because there's so much stuff in the way, so definitely going to be thinning out some of the trees over here as well. But of course, that's going to all happen off camera. It's not the kind of thing that I'm going to put into an episode for you folks. And that is probably going to be it for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching Decidedly Vanilla. My name has been Pixlriffs. Leave a like on the episode if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.